I guess let's start with Spain, Joel. You said you follow Spain. That's your team. What a game they had against Portugal, I guess. And
it was the best game of the tournament so far. Yeah. It was so exciting to watch, and it kind of epitomizes their style of football. I think even against Morocco, that was a good example of kind of the type of football they play. It was incredibly frustrating to watch that game. I was getting so mad as I was watching it because I was just like, you can't put 12 players behind the ball like that. You just can't.
And they don't listen when you yell at the television. It's so weird.
But I just really enjoy like the fast-paced play that they do and their passing style, and they're just a fun team to watch. And they have been for tournament after tournament, with the exception of the last World Cup. They've just been a really exciting team to watch, and I don't know if we'll get another chance to bring it up, but I just find that teams, every World Cup, everyone's so shocked that teams have changed so much, and I find that the teams that don't change are the ones that are kind of the biggest surprises that they're not doing well, like Germany, for example, this time. It's almost, it looks like the same team that they pulled in last time, and they lost their first game, and everyone's like, I can't believe Germany's not doing well, and it's like, you can't, you have to evolve. The same play. Exactly. You can't, like, from season to season in leagues, you have to evolve, and that's just over a summer. And it's 4 years, like, the players change, players evolve. So I find that was what caught Spain up, I think, the last World Cup, and I think they've fixed that for this time around. So,
Emma, with the Socceroos, we saw that first game. They are a scrappy team. They got the draw. You got to be happy with the way things are going, because if they win the next game, they could get through. They could
get through. Australia has this habit of kind of, and we saw it when they played their first game. I mean, you know, they kind of were like, yeah, oh my God, we scored a goal, yes. And then the other team scores and they just give up. Like, this is such an Australian thing to do. It's a very Australian way of approaching sport, where you just like throw a tantrum and like take your bat and ball and go home kind of thing. And that is that is just so what the Socceroos so often do. And they're such a scrappy team, but they're kind of fun to watch, I think, for that very reason. There's no discipline like there is with Germany, for example, or, you know, other soccer powerful nations. It's like they've all just got a little bit drunk. Someone picked them up from the pub and let them put on a strip and jump on the field. Like, Australia plays kind of like Australians are. They're scrappy. They're a scrappy lot. Yeah, but I mean, hopefully we can get through to the next round. No one ever expects Australia to get through to the second round, like ever, to get past the group stage. So when we do it, it's always kind of a little like, yeah, good job us, way to go. Because I mean, Australians are a nation of immigrants. We have so many immigrants down there. Soccer's massive at a very small club level. We don't have a big powerhouse of football, and they go and play overseas instead of being in Australia. So I think that's maybe where that disconnect between players comes in as well. I think there's a lot of parallels between Australia and Canada as well. I think the countries have similar population, and I think there are, you know, Australia, soccer's not the #1 game. There are some other games there, but I think, I do agree with you that I think this is a team that you can't write off. They're going to fight to the very last minute. So, moving on to Poland. Poland, very good. They have a very good team. They are very good players. They were ranked in this tournament. They didn't get off to a good start, but Patrycia, this is still a good team. It's not over for the Poles. No, and I don't think so. But like you were saying, I think it's similar to Germany, right? Like it's some of the similar guys from 4 years ago, and they're getting slower, right? Like you've got some of the superstars, but a lot of the times people forget that they are the superstars that they are because of the teammates they have around them. So then when they don't have that anymore, I don't know if it's quite the same. And I mean, I can say for sure I have been guilty of scoring on my own net. So that is a terrible feeling. And I feel like that might have sort of set the tone for the rest of the game. No, I think I've done it as well. It's not a good feeling, especially when you feel like you've disappointed your entire team. Well, your country. Your country. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's Poland. Let's be honest. It's your entire country. On that theme, I guess we'll start with you, Patrycia. Sure. What team has been most disappointing? What team have you looked at and said, I expect a lot of things of this team, and then early on in the tournament they didn't do well?
Actually, I'd say Germany. Yeah, like that is what it is for me, because like obviously we're neighbors, right? Like Germany, Poland, and I've had friends that have gone to Canada to play in Germany, so I've paid attention to what's going on in Germany, and they've always been strong, and that just was not what I was expecting.
Yeah. Jill?
I have on my notes Germany and a little frowny face.
You do. That really says it all. Frowny emoji.
And then I said any South American team other than Uruguay. I've been really kind of at the beginning of these podcasts, even everyone was saying you can't write off the South American teams. You can't write them off, and they just haven't been there. Like today with Argentina and other teams, it's just been I was expecting a lot more from them.
Well, Peru's out already. They haven't scored a goal. Argentina lost 3-0 today. That doesn't leave a lot. Emma, your thoughts on teams that may have been disappointed?
Germany. Actually, as that game was happening, we were at home watching it, and our downstairs neighbours are Mexican, I discovered.
Oh, are they?
When that game was happening, when I started hearing all this yelling in Spanish and screaming, and I didn't know what was happening, because I was like, what's going on? I knew there was a soccer game on that I was watching, and then I realised the screaming was correlating with what was happening on my screen, and I'm like, oh, I see, I get it now. But yeah, Germany have just... they've really just crapped the bed, haven't they? Yeah,
they didn't look good at all in that first game. Hopefully they put it together. And funny, there were so many people celebrating in Mexico. They all jumped up at the same time. They had a seismic event in Mexico.